Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'm bringing you today's wonderful episode. So some of you guys might be wondering what happened to the live streams. Well, here's the deal. What we're going to do, we're going to shift these to the patron site for our patrons. Once I figure out how to do that, I'm going to experiment this weekend. And there's a simple reason for it. I know the last one we had some volume issues and other issues that I eventually solved. And then I reshot the entire thing as a regular video instead of a live stream. And what I have noticed, I went back through and I looked. We've had a few live streams, and what I've noticed is that on the YouTube channel, our live streams get about a fifth of the viewership of our regular videos. So obviously most of you guys prefer the regular videos, and I want to give you guys what you prefer. So we're going to keep with the regular videos for the YouTube channel, and for our patrons we will start putting in some live streams for you guys. And along with that, thank you very much to our patrons, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the exclusive videos that we occasionally put out there for you guys, and the upcoming live streams, if anyone's curious about that, and the buying us a coffee, which I appreciate. Thank you. I think your name is Brian that just bought us a couple of coffees. Very appreciated. I'm back on my diet, so I'm trying to cut out the sodas, so coffee is definitely always appreciated. But yeah, if you're curious about any of that, just check the description of the video down below. Otherwise, because I don't want this to drag on too long, we're going to go ahead and jump into today's video. Okay guys, so for today's video, we're kind of going back to our roots. We haven't gotten a lot of, actually I've gotten no emails from anybody with any strategies or anything, and I get it. You know, we've pretty much gone through almost every strategy or variant up to this point, and we want to go back and we want to look at some of our earlier strategies that we had gone over, things that we had shown, and maybe just touch back on them and kind of smooth them out a little bit. We also plan in the next 2 weeks to pick up a roulette layout so that we'll be able to start showing you guys some roulette strategies. Probably 1 to 2 months after that is when we'll pick up a roulette wheel to add to it. But yeah, we definitely are planning on moving forward very quickly. So for today, we're going to talk about lays. We're going to talk about lays. We're going to talk about direct lays. So the first thing is, what is a lay? Well, a lay is basically the exact opposite of odds. When you have a pass line bet and we mark a point, let's say we mark the 6 or the 8. Say we mark the 8. We drop down $20 in odds back there, and you now have odds. Those odds are based on true odds, as we have talked about in the past. For instance, with the 8, there are 5 ways to make an 8, and there are 6 ways to make a 7. And those are the only 2 numbers that affect that particular bet. It's only betting on the 8. So we could follow with true odds, 5 ways to win, 6 ways to lose. Every 5 pays 6. There is zero house edge in odds. It's one of the cooler things about the odds. That's why we oftentimes say that odds is the best bet in a casino. The reason we say that is because it's the only bet that does not have a house edge, which is also one of the reasons that it's not usually rated at a lot of casinos. So a lay goes at the exact opposite. If someone did a don't pass, all right, and obviously you can't do it after this point, but if someone was on the don't pass to begin with, and they want to place odds just like the person on the pass line, well, again, we get to true odds, but now things kind of reverse because that bet wins on a 7 and loses on an 8. So therefore, there are 6 ways to win and 5 ways to lose. That means that every $6 pays 5. So if we wanted a comparable lay to those odds, it would be a $24 lay. $24 will pay 20 versus $20 is odds paying 24. Right? And lays are heeled off. They should always be closest to the dealer. So on this side of the table, it will be on that side because we always pay coming around this way. And we always pay with pass line. We are supposed to always pay odds first. Same thing with the lay. We should pay the lay first, which means if we don't want to cross in front of the bet and therefore block it from the view of the box, the lay needs to be the first thing we come across. So it should be first as we come around. Right? Lays need to be heeled off. All right? Got to be heeled off, and heeled off basically facing the bet, heeled off away from the bet, however you want to put it. But it's always heeled off the same way. We would never heel it off this way. Right? It's always heeled off this way. That way we know it's attached to the bet. So that also means that, say, on the 9, 24 would actually work. Because on a 9, every 2 pays 3 in odds, therefore every 3 pays 2 on a lay, so the lays must be in units of 3s. Just like on the 8, the lays must be in units of 6. They have to be proper. Lays must be proper. If they're not proper, some casinos are actually just going to return to you the improper amount if the 7 comes before they're able to check it. Other casinos, they do know how to figure out the improper payouts, but most of them, again, they're not willing to. They're not going to. They are going to say, sorry, that's not a bet. Here's the remainder of your bet. However, I will say this: that also means that in the event of a winner, they will break it down first, make sure it's proper, and return the improper part to you. If they would return the improper part to you when they pay you, they would also return the improper part to you when it loses. I guarantee it. I promise you that much. Now, on the 4 and 10, they just need to be even, because we just cut it in half. 2 ways to win, 1 way to lose, basically. Or actually 6 ways to win, 3 ways to lose, so 2 to 1 odds. Just like 1 to 2 odds on the pass line. Or 2 to 1 odds on the pass line, 1 to 2 odds on the lay, if you want to look at it that way. So that is the lay. You're betting more to win less because, again, true odds. True odds. Now that also applies with a don't come. When the don't come travels, wherever it may travel to, then it's got to be in units of 6. So let's say they can lay 12. In which case this would be what we call a bridge, because the lay pays the same amount as the flat bet. So we can bridge it under certain conditions. It makes it easier to pay. Now, you can also do what we call a direct lay. Right? Now, there's a couple of different reasons to do direct lays. Some people will do direct lays because they have some kind of complicated hedge strategy, hedge this to cover the rest of your bets, something along those lines. Other people like to do direct lays on the come-out rolls, on bets that are less likely to lose, such as the 4 and 10. There's only 3 ways to roll a 10 out of the 36 combinations of the dice. So some people will do a direct lay on the 10, on the come-out roll, or even just all the time. And other people like to play the don'ts, and they come to the table late. So if they come to the table late, the point is already established, then they need to do their lay. They need to do a direct lay. Direct lay will get marked with a lay button. Now, if it's the point, let's say somebody says, I want to lay $80 on the 8. Well, okay, go ahead and put on the don't pass in front of you, and we're going to put a lay button on top of it. That means it's a lay. It's a direct lay. However, we also will charge the juice on it. Direct lays get charged a vig. So if you wanted to do a direct lay behind the 9, behind the 10, we're going to charge you a vig. Now, one thing that I like to tell people when they have a decent enough bankroll, and we see people that are doing direct lays for like $14 or $15 or $18, they don't say a whole lot, but when people are doing a direct lay, when they have a decent enough bankroll, as long as we are hitting the table minimum, I'll tell people, hey, as long as you do units of 30, you're always proper on every number, because some people are very confused. What's a proper lay? And it could be a direct lay or just a normal lay. But if you do it 30, 60, 90, it's going to be proper on every single bet. Now, what do I mean when I say table minimum? Table minimum means that the lay must pay the table minimum. So if we're on, say, a $25 minimum bet table, and you have a bet don't come travel behind the 6, you cannot lay $18 because $18 only pays 15. Has to pay the table minimum. That also means, let's say you traveled to the 5. Right? If you traveled to the 5, you could not do a, let's say, I'm trying to think of a good example. Well, you couldn't do a $30 lay. You couldn't lay 30 because 30 pays 20. That's below the table minimum. Has to win at least the table minimum. Now, what was I talking about with the vig, with the juice? Well, you have to pay juice on a direct lay, just like you do on a buy. Lays and buys are basically the same thing. When you buy a number, you are buying the true odds. You are betting the true odds, minus a vig. Lays, same thing. You're betting the true odds, so you're going to pay a vig. The difference is, a lot of casinos, especially on the 4 and 10, they become auto buys, and they don't charge you the vig until after it hits. That's the way to do it. If they charge you the vig before it hits, they're basically charging you a doubled up vig, and you need to find somewhere else to play. But with direct lays, you pay the vig up front, which is also the reason that oftentimes people that try and do direct lays as late bets get told no bet all the time. because I guarantee you, one, didn't tell me the amount, and two, didn't drop enough money. Let's say the dice are already out, and somebody says, I want to lay the 5. No bet. Because if a 5 rolls right now, they might ask for change. Let's say we're on a $10 minimum bet table. 5 rolls right now, they might say, I wanted to lay it for 15. Where's my change? Or I wanted to lay it for 21. Where's my change? Or they wanted to lay it for, but let's say the 7 hits. Now they say, well, I was laying it for $30. Well, where's your vig? Where's the juice? You didn't give me enough money. That's the reason why I say no bet on almost every late direct lay, because I guarantee you they did not give me an amount. Late bets, you always need to give me an amount, or you're giving me the you have the opportunity to take a shot. And two, you need to throw all the money in. If you're doing a direct lay, there is a vig. If you don't understand it, can't calculate out the vig, don't do a late bet. And yeah, there we go. Now the vig is always calculated off the payout. Like we say, between buys and lays, the vig, the juice, is always calculated off the lowest dollar amount. So if you had a buy on the 4 of, say, $50, well, that pays 100. So we're going to charge the vig off the 50, the bet, because that's the lower amount than the payout. But if you wanted to do a direct lay on the 4 of $50, well, that pays 25. Now the payout is smaller than the bet, so we're going to charge the vig based on the payout. So we're only going to charge you $1 most likely on a $25 payout. The courtesy buy, just like the courtesy lay, just like the courtesy buy. So I hope you guys find this interesting or helpful, and thank you everybody for watching. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now. Thank you everybody for watching today's video, and as promised, a little bit more detail on things that we are working on. So again, we want to continue trying to expand the channel. We're really hoping to be able to add roulette as soon as possible, and then some video keno, video slots, stuff along those lines. Unfortunately, it ate up almost all of our cash, paying off all of our bills during the month of January while we were down. And now that the holidays have ended, YouTube's payouts have dropped significantly. So we're kind of treading water here as far as all that goes. Do have a lot of things we want to add, though. Not just those things, those additional games, and hopefully some carnival games and such like that. But the live streams. The biggest problem right now with the live streams is with 3 jobs combined between the 2 of us, 4 if I include the 20 to 30 hours a week I'm putting into the YouTube channel. It's very, very difficult for me to have a day and time that I can commit to doing the live stream every single week, because we also have our very young child to take care of. But I'm trying to figure that out. I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being on Monday nights or Tuesday afternoons, or possibly both. I intend to do at least one live stream exclusively for our patrons, and then another one on the YouTube channel. So possibly both days. We also have a few other things that we really want to attempt to move forward on. I'm just running into either time or skill set issues. I do want to eventually have a website going for us. I did used to program websites over a decade ago. A lot of things have changed, and I just don't have that time. And not a whole lot of knowledge on the current state of building websites, hosting what sites can host, and how to build up the e-commerce stuff. So if anybody has any skill sets along those lines and would like to answer some questions or just help us out, shoot us an email, sincitylivingLV@gmail.com. Also, I really hope to be able to start adding some exclusive stuff from Sin City Living, logoed shirts, hats. I'm looking to get custom dice made, even custom layouts made, although those would be pretty expensive. But I know zero about e-commerce and drop shipping and anything along those lines. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area, please email me. I would love to ask you some questions and see if you can answer a few to help me figure out how to get that going. Same thing with designing our logos. I had some logos designed, very, very small logos, unfortunately, not big enough to blow up to put on t-shirts and stuff like that. And again, I know I know nothing about logo design, graphic design, any kind of websites that could do it. I literally know nothing. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area also, please email me, and you're willing to answer some questions, please email me and let me know. I'll admit I don't even know where to start as far as asking some questions, but I'm sure I'll ask a few, and that'll trigger a few more, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's that, and of course we do hope to continue to improve our AV setup, but I am an AV moron, so also right there, if you have any skill sets or knowledge in that area, please email me, and are willing to answer some questions. Please email me and let me know. We would love to help. Otherwise, again, thank you everybody for watching, and we're very excited to continue bringing you our videos. Bye now.